All right, everybody. Welcome back to episode 2 of Along the Edge. And this is starting off a little bit more uniquely because, as you see currently, I am doing the voiceover for the intro. I forgot to record the intro. So, everything that you're about to see is literally just after I clicked play from where we left off. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe and share if you enjoyed the video. And come back for more. Let's get on with the video. I didn't see what that read. I messed up. I I'm telling myself that this might be the moment to call Dr. Durant. He said I could call him if I felt the need, and I'm afraid that time has come. Maybe he'll have some answers, and it can't do any harm. Yeah, and it can't do any harm in any case. I pick up the phone and dial his number. Hello, Dr. Durant. It's Daphne. It's Daphne Delator. Ah, hello, Daphne. Why are you calling? I guess it's pretty morning in the day for you to be doing the booty call, but I can make arrangements. I can make time. Trust. Well, well, you told me I could call. True, but you haven't been in touch since August, and now you're calling me on a Sunday morning. I'm guessing I must be that easy for you. I'm guessing it must be that important. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. I can call you back tomorrow if you prefer. No, 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 no. You were right to call me. That's precisely why I gave you this number. And I'll be more tuned in now than I would be between patients tomorrow. You can count on that. I quickly run through everything that's happened since I arrived. I end with the reoccurring dream of what happened last night. Listen, Daphne, I understand why you've called me, but there's no cause for alarm. There's no proven treatment for it. Somnambulism. And everything suggests that it's an isolated crisis, certainly due to your new environment. But you must have an explanation. Yeah, but you must have an explanation about the dream, don't you? Well, for that, we can look into a psychoanalyst. Tell me, how would you interpret it? It felt like a premonitory dream. I would go with that. How's she biting her lip like that? I don't know, the dream, it was really strange. It almost felt like a premonition. You're entitled to your beliefs, Daphne. But let me remind you that you are in charge of your own destiny. Don't forget that. Even if this dream was indeed a premonition, as you say, don't be trapped by the idea that your fate can't be changed. Yes, you're right. Most of all, don't push yourself too hard. Take some time to think things over. You've been through a lot of changes. When you get your bearings, everything will be fine. You'll see. Thank you, Doctor. You told me your ex-partner has paid you a visit. How do you how do you see things there? I'm not gonna be too harsh with that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Sometimes I ask myself if I wasn't too hard on him. Then again, I can't see that there's any way to get us out of this impasse. I think you're right, both to question yourself and to take the time you need to think it through. Because if you get with a boy again, that means I can't be there for you right now, like I am right now. Wherever you decide together, it would be a shame to make the same mistakes again. This man is playing the goalie. You're probably right. So you mentioned a young man, Stanislas? Stanislas? Is that right? Uh, I'm not sure why I'm asking a question like this, but sure, I may have mentioned him. Yes, but I don't really know what to think of him. On one hand, he was intolerably rude, but on the other, I do find the motel is quite intriguing. I'm just trying to point out that Frank isn't the only alternative. Maybe you're more open to new opportunities than you care to admit. Ah, brother. Maybe you should try to let someone a bit older, more wise, can guide you through things. Me and that guy? That seems a bit far fetched, Doctor. I'm only reaching. I'm only. Yeah, I'm only reacting to what you told me. But if you allow me, I advise you not to rely on Frank being the solution to everything. And if you want your relationship to work, you need to make sure of your own well-being first. One last thing before we get back to our regular Sundays. Yes? How do you feel about your new job? She says she likes it, so hey, she likes it a lot. The sun, moon, and something else in the top left glue. I know I wasn't sure about it when I was there, but believe it or not, I love my new job. It was perfectly normal to be anxious in your situation. I was sure you would enjoy it. You were right. Teaching is really fulfilling. It's so satisfying to enable those young brains to get a grip on complex ideas. I'm glad to hear that. Hang on to that positive element. Hang on to that positive element. It will help you get through the trials life throws at you. All right, Daphne. I'm sorry, but I have to go. I'm glad to hear that you're more at peace. No matter what, I don't think you've got any need to worry. It's perfectly normal to doubt yourself and to need time to get your bearings. Glad to hear you say that. As for the sleepwalking episode, be alert, but don't be alarmed. You told me about the wardens living nearby. Perhaps you could ask them. Perhaps you could ask them to be on their guard in case it happens again. Call me if you ever do feel yourself getting overwhelmed, and if needed, I'll refer you to a colleague in your area. Okay. Oh, and make sure you call every other night. I'ma be needing that sweet talk. Oh, and unless it's an emergency, try to check the day of the week before you jump at the phone next time. Yes, of course, Doctor. I'll try to limit my sleepwalking to weekdays from now on. Alright. We'll say no more about it. Have a good Sunday. Thanks. You too. As I'm recovering from my night, lolling? Lolling on the sofa with a good book and a cup of tea, I hear someone knocking. I'm surprised to find Frank beaming at me on the porch and holding a bunch of flowers. Oh my. What's up, Norman Osborn? Carnations, your favorite. When I saw them at the market, I thought of you right away. He hands me the flowers as he steps inside. How about coffee? It's my house. Why is you offering me coffee? Sure, big girl. I did say you can come in and get coffee. Once you start getting touchy, that's no. So, how are things going? You like the village? He follows me to the kitchen. He follows me to the kitchen. I put the flowers in the vase and turn on the coffee machine. Well, I'm doing alright. I've got a couple of jobs, including some big roof repairs. What's great around here is that people are so easy to work with. They're not constantly asking me to justify my decisions, and they don't have harebrained notions about how I should do my job. And you? How are you doing? We chat for a while. In passing, I tell them about my eventful night. I listen to them with half an ear as I prepare my classes for the week. 1 hour and 2 coffees later, Frank finally decides to get to the point. You told me about your tower with no door. Do you remember? I've got to admit, I was pretty intrigued. Would you mind if I take a look? Not at all. Help yourself. I'm as intrigued as you are, after all. I'm wondering what might be inside. In that case, I'll investigate and report back to you. Do you want me to check around for the old bite? I think you ought to be properly equipped, don't you, Sherlock Holmes? Very funny. I'm sure I could resolve the mystery of the yellow room. Then Frank goes off to do his stuff, and I get back to my blanket and my thriller. He reappears late in the afternoon, his coat covered with dust and his shoes covered in mud. What happened to you? So, from the look of your face, I'm guessing it wasn't elementary, my dear Watson. Nope, I have to admit defeat. So, what are your conclusions? That there must be an entrance somewhere, but I couldn't find it. I tried to get in the wall. I tried to get in by the wall with the ladder, but the arrow slits are too narrow and too deep. I can't see anything inside, let alone get in. Let alone get in unless I blow up the wall. Mrs. Petunia caught me doing my acrobatic act, so I took the chance to ask her a few questions. Apparently, she's got no idea what's inside either. I told you so. When I suggested getting in by the roof, she immediately advised me against it. Apparently, the roof hides another older stone ceiling. No way in that either. And thinking about the kind of scaffolding I need to get up there, I think I'll take a word for it. Well, at least you tried. Sure. Well, I better go. I've got a big day tomorrow. Thanks for the coffee. You're welcome. See you later. See you. I didn't dream that night. Monday was particularly tiresome. I don't know if the students are conspiring to wind me up, or if it's just that I'm not completely over my disturbing weekend. Pop it off. As I head to the school gates, I see Mrs. Kill glaring balefully at me as she waits for her son. I suppose she'll leap up on the chance to give me an earful. After my long day, it's tempting to try to dodge her, even if it's not very professional. As I'm weighing up the pros and cons, I realize she's already striding towards me. What should I do? Hey. What do you gotta say? I'm bracing myself for an unpleasant 15 minutes when I feel a hand on my arm. Ah, Miss Delator. I'm in luck. I just wanted a word with you. It's Malatelle, holding a young child by the hand. Mrs. Q immediately turns on the heels and goes back outside the gates. Pierre, Uncle Stan, who's this lady? Well, Pierre, this pretty lady is Daphne Delator. She lives at the castle. At the witch's castle? You're not a witch, are you, miss? Do excuse him. The voice for this guy is funny. So, yeah. Yeah, please do excuse him. As you can tell, he's not afraid to speak his mind. He adds, with a wink. He takes after his uncle, I suppose. I crouch down to the child's height. I'm trolling. Since I live in the witch's castle, I must be a witch, right? He hides behind his uncle's legs, intimidated. Yes. Yes. In that case, I must definitely be one, but perhaps I'm the nice kind of witch, don't you think? Do they exist, Uncle Stan? Nice witches? Of course they do. Miss Delator is a teacher at the middle school. She knows what she's talking about. I stand up and notice Stan is putting out his hand. I don't believe we've been formally introduced. Stan Melita, but my friends call me Stan. Daphne Delator, but it seems you already know that. Of course. You must have noticed how fast news spreads around here, Daphne. May I call you Daphne? When my father discovered something was going on at the castle, he had to know what was happening. I hope you'll excuse him. The poor man's obsessed with the Delators. But don't you let that put you off. The rest of my family, totally isn't from the same cloth. We must have a coffee together one of these days. To get to know each other, you know? I'm sure we have a lot in common. Before I have before I have the chance to answer, yet. By the way, did you receive your invitation to the cocktail party? Cocktail party? I do hope you'll come. My father makes me attend, yeah. But it's atrociously stuffy. Uncle Stan, can we go for my stack? Yes, Pierre. In 1 minute, I'm rinsing up this girl. Well, Junior wants us next. We better go. Say goodbye to Daphne, Pierre. Hey, my name's Pierre Yves, not Junior. The child takes my hand. Will you come with us? Oh, don't you call me auntie. Adopted? No. Auntie Daphne has things to do. She can't come with us this time. Come on, let's go home. You're driving, apparently. For real? Of course not. Daphne, it was quite... Daphne, it was lovely to meet you. See you soon? These voices is horrible. Within a few moments, Stan and Junior have disappeared in a sports car, and I'm left speechless on the sidewalk, trying to sort out what just happened. When I get back to the house, I discover I have mail. An elegant square envelope containing an invitation to a cocktail party. I guess that's what Stainless was talking about. It looks like I've been invited to the reopening of the Town Hall Gardens that have just been renovated. I bet all the cream of the local society would be there, so it could be an excellent opportunity to learn more about the Martyrs. I could ask Free to come with me, but I know this kind of social event isn't exactly his cup of tea. On the other hand, going to my own. Hey, I don't want no things to happen with Free, but I don't want things to happen with me and no one's there to help me. What did I bring Frank for? Big brother Frank. Hey, you wanna come, bro? I guess I could convince him, but I have to be very persuasive. Come on, you're not doing much. You can find you a nice little lady. After several minutes, I managed to talk him into it. The day arrives fast. As I start to prepare for the evening, I'm confronted with a conjurer. I'm killing it. I'm killing it. I don't know which two I'm gonna be killing it. I can deduce from the elegance of this invitation card that proper attire is required. So I guess it's not a jeans and a shirt kind of thing to do. I don't own anything remotely appropriate for this kind of occasion, but after rummaging through the wardrobe in my mother's room, I find 2 dresses that might be suitable. I just can't choose. On one hand, there's a long Empire line dress. I suspect that it would be more to my grandmother's taste and criteria of elegance. To be honest, I can't imagine my mother wearing this by choice. It's pale blue, a color that gently suits my complexion. The other option is a black straightless dress, short and tight fitting. I could totally see my mother wearing this. It's the exact kind of thing that she would have worn for nights out. Unlike the blue one, it leaves very little to the imagination between the bare shoulders and the length, or rather lack of length, of the skirt. Which one should I choose? So I'm trying to stunt on the other women at this party. If I want to stunt crazy, I'll pick the blue, white, elegant type dress. But if I want to go there with saying, hey, I'm trying to get it going tonight, I'm going with that black dress because, people know me as a farce type lady. I'm going to go there simply with the intentions to just outdo everyone. I'm not going there to be wild, and it's more formal than, I'm putting on the blue dress. I'm putting on the blue dress. Yes, I got that on. It might be a bit overdressed, but I think this is the most sensible option. Yeah, I like it. Now that I've dealt with the dress, I just need to sort out my hair. Not choose the hairstyle for that. I pin it up to an elegant update, add a touch of makeup, and now I'm ready to leave. I just have time to finish getting ready when I hear the bearing horn of Frank's van. I climb in, and in a few minutes drive later, we're there. The town hall gardens are magnificent, with the trees robed in the flaming colors of fall. There are already a lot of people gathered in small groups, glasses of wine in hand. I'm glad Frank came. Having him next to me find the courage to confront I'm glad Frank came. Having him next to me helps me find the courage to confront the crowd that's gathered there. The guests are all dressed up to the nines, and the event looks more like a lavish wedding than a gathering in a small country village. The motel clearly didn't balk at the expense. Frank barely has time to get a glass of champagne from the buffet before I approached by a large man in a black suit. He's closely followed by a tall and haughty blonde woman. It's reasonable to assume that she's his wife. I do got that on. I'm happy I chose this outfit. Okay, so that's... Okay. Good evening, young lady. You must be the castle's new owner. I'm so glad you came to our little party. I must confess, I've been eager to learn a bit more about you. I see you didn't come along. Good evening, Sir Yves Mater. Frank Duval. Pleased to meet you. Like the singer? Never mind, forget I said anything. Pleased to meet you. Let me introduce you to my wife. Cloth-eyed... Yeah, Cloth-eyed Maltele. Good evening. Good evening, Miss Delator. Daphne, pleased to meet you. Her icy handshake contrasts sharply with her husband's bonhomie. I can read a mix of contempt and distaste in her eyes. It looks like my daughter, Selena, has been ambushed by old Mr. Murray. He waves his hand at a pretty young blonde woman across the path. She's leaning down to an old man in a wheelchair who's caught her by her wrist and seems determined to hang on to her as long as decency allows. As for my son, I believe you already met him. Yes, I have. Well, now that we're done with the introductions, let me get to the point. I must tell you, my invitation wasn't without an ulterior motive. As you will see for yourself later during the opening ceremony, we're very concerned about the preservation of our cultural heritage here in the village. And as you may have heard, our relations with your grandmother were, how shall I put it, strained. What reason do I have to cut short the conversation? It's not like I got anywhere else to be. Yes, I had heard that. I imagine that your maintenance costs at the castle must be quite significant. If you would agree to open it up to visitors a few times a year, the town council may be the town council may be able to help you out with some of those expenses. Blah 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 blah. No. That's my home. Y'all is not getting it. I'm not comfortable with opening. I'm not comfortable. Look, I'm not comfortable with the idea of opening up my home to strangers. If you understand, I understand your objections. I understand your objections, but I assure you, your private life would be disturbed. The most interesting part of the building is the tower. We could certainly think about opening only that part up to the public. That part specifically is not getting up. Something tells me you're gonna make, yeah, something tells me you're gonna take some time persuading. But I do hope that whatever may have happened in the past between the Monteles and Delators won't be an obstacle to our possible collaboration. Anyways, let me assure you that I have the very best intentions, and I hope with all my heart that your move here will signal a new cordiality between our families. I don't want to give him the notion that I know something's up with that tower. So what happened? What exactly happened? Can you tell me what happened exactly between the Monteles and the Delators? This village is it's a hornet's nest, and the smallest trifles can take on this village is a hornet's nest, and the smallest trifles can take on an enormous proportions. My grandfather had a grudge against the Delators when I was born, and I'm not sure even if he knew the origins of the pearl. How will I know that he's lying? Hey, move on, bro. You're right, it doesn't matter anymore. We need to move on. My thoughts exactly. Look, I'd be delighted to continue our discussion, but unfortunately, duty calls. Have a nice evening. You too. Yves Montelet disappears into the crowd. But now I know who the other members of the family are. I'll be able to question them directly. Selena is still dealing with the old man, and Cloth-eyed, her mother, has taken advantage of her husband's departure to move on to a And Cloth-eyed, her mother, has taken advantage of her husband's departure to move on to the buffet. I could also ask Frank what he thinks of all this. What should I do? She's probably not going to tell me nothing that easy. She can probably tell me something. Then I'm going to ask Frank. She looked like that one actor from Gen Z. I forgot her name, but you'll see her put up right there. She do look like her. When she sees me approaching, Selena seizes her chance and manages, finally, to extricate. Finally, to extricate herself from Mr. Murray's clutches. For an instant, her eyes are full of gratitude and relief. Then she comes towards me with a large smile. You must be Daphne Delator. I'm Selena Martelli, Stan's older sister. Pleased to meet you. The pleasure is mine. I was looking forward to meeting you. Stan told me you was delightful. Stan told you about me? Really? He told you about me? He did, and I wanted to apologize for his behavior. I know that what he can be like around women. He probably won't like me telling you this, but I think you made quite the impression on him. Hey. He don't know what he's getting into. I'm a widow. I'm afraid he's barking up the wrong tree. I'm sorry, but I'm not really available at the moment. Oh, I understand. Of course. Here I am telling you all this when you came to the... Hi, he's not my husband. He's many things, but not my husband. We're not married. He's just a good friend. I promise. Only a good friend. Oh, and sorry for putting you on the spot like that. It's a big sister thing. Just can't help myself. You know, he's never really been lucky in love, and I don't know why, but I felt like it could have worked out with you. She burst out laughing. But enough about my brother. Tell me about yourself. What do you do for a living? How do you like it here in the village? We talked for a good 20 minutes. Selena seems kind and outgoing, but I can't decide if it's not all just a front. And her attention seems to wander quite often, until, without notice, she disappears into the town hall, leaving me hanging. Oh wow. Gonna talk to Frank. Then we're talking to the mother last. Frank has taken over the. Frank has taken cover near the buffet. He looks bored to death. I feel slightly guilty that I've inflicted this ordeal on him. I know perfectly well he hates this kind of occasion. I can see the relief on his face as I walk over to him. Are you okay? Surviving? Surviving? Yes, I guess so. It's only at 6 out of the 10 of the demoralized rating scale. 6 out of 10? That's not so bad. Well, we haven't crossed the pain threshold yet, but if you wanted to shorten my suffering, I'd be grateful. So, is that it? Are we leaving? Not quite yet. My fault, Frank. You really don't want to be here right now. Cloth-eyed is chatting with a group of smartly dressed people. A vague smile plays on her lips. Her face is hard to read. Was she reluctant to attend this function? Or is it the distant, haughty attitude part of her natural personality? Seeing me approach, she apologizes to her guest and takes me aside. Mrs. Martelli? Oh. Listen, girl. I'm talking to Dr. Zach and his wife. If you've been raised with such a lack of basic good manners, well, I hope you'll excuse my bluntness. But I'm afraid I have neither the time nor the inclination to teach you otherwise. Alright. So if you don't mind, I'll go back to my guests. And you, I don't know, enjoy the buffet, maybe? Alright. I hate y'all too. I wish you a good evening. Yeah, and I wish you a worse day. Hey, we're leaving, Frank. I'm dust struck as Cloth-Eye turns away and returns to our conversation. I hadn't imagined she would be so hostile towards me. Yeah, I ain't even got time for that. There's a ripple in the crowd. The guests are gathering around the platform. I suppose the unveiling ceremony is about to begin. Someone is walking against the current, pushing towards the crowd in my direction. Daphne? Daphne? I'm not using that voice now. It's Dan, carrying a glass of wine and looking rather drunk. Oh, brother. You came. Great. Hey, big bro, this is not the time. This really isn't the time. Let me go. I know you're gonna hate me, but I've been wanting to do this since the first time I set eyes on you this summer at the bakery. Without warning, he takes me in his arms and leans me backward. Frank. I didn't bring you for nothing, big bro. You better do something. I look into his eyes and I understand perfectly well what is about to happen. And that's when I start yelling for Frank. Frank! Where's Frank? I'm trying to hold him back, but exhaling wine fumes in my face. His mouth presses down on... Oh, thank God. Luckily, I'm saved by a rasping voice that stops staying in its track. Oh. Isn't it enough for you that you corrupt our youth? Oh, I really should have just left. Hugh stands next to us, glaring at me. Hey, now I'm mad. I'm not being calm. Oh, no way. You're not gonna stick your oar in. That's right. Yell at me. Show everyone your true colors, even if they're blind. I see exactly what you are, Val Temptress. I won't let you get away with it. Come, Mr. Master. Don't let this sorceress seduce you. That's enough. I've had it with you insulting me. I'll warn you. I feel my cheeks flushing. A ball of heat seems to blaze inside my chest. What did I bring Frank for? Frank was here for this exact problem. Where's Frank? 50 what? 50 which? Is that what you wanted to say? Stan helps me up. I feel something warm dripping down my finger and I realize I must have cut my hand when I fell. See? And now I'm injured. Are you happy? Since I'm a filthy witch, I curse you. You'll pay for what you've done to me tonight. Is that what you wanted? Are you satisfied? If I'm a sorceress, as you say, why not put my powers to good use? Daphne, your hand, blood has been drawn. Careful what you're about to. With perverse satisfaction, I watched Mrs. Q turn white as a sheet. I hold her gaze until she lowers her head and turns away. Stan puts his hand on my shoulder and shakes me gently. Daphne, do you realize what? I cut him off. Exasperated. Oh, enough now. Leave me alone. I stride to the bathroom to clean out my round. Wipe up. I stride to the bathroom to clean out my round. Wipe the wine from my face and most of all, try to calm down. A few yards away, I see Frank, dumbstruck, the keys of the van in his hand. And you didn't decide to come earlier? That's what I brought you here for. He must have witnessed the whole thing, but he knows me well enough to not trying to prevent. Yeah, but he knows me well enough not to try. But he knows me well enough not to try to prevent me from leaving. In the distance, on the platform, Yves has taken the microphone and is about to speak. My dear friends, neighbors, and fellow citizens, we've come together to celebrate the start of the fall season. As you all know by tradition, the time of this year is dedicated to reflection and remembrance. It's a time when we think of those dear to us who have moved on, who wait for us on the other side. But it's also the time of offering where we pray that nature and her invisible entities bring us a mild winter. That's why our craftsman has worked so hard all summer in preparation for this celebration, so that today we could present to you the fruits of our efforts. As we leave summer behind us to enter winter, this time of offering, as I said, seems like the ideal moment to renew our pact with our protectors. Those invisible forces who have allowed our tradition to survive century after century, not to disappear at the whim of invasions and external influencers, and who brings us good fortune, happiness, and prosperity every year. So I'm proud to present to you this physical representation of our pact, this statue, symbol of our community, that is worn down by the years and the weather, has now been remade by the masterful hands of our exceptional local craftsmen. Ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you the scenes. Chapter 4. Alright, so we found out multiple things this chapter. Frank is a bum. Stan is a bum. That woman back there that made me cut my hand, bum. Stan's mother, a bum. I'm surrounded by bums. And what else? I cursed her. Thank God. She's cursed. My witch powers has activated from what it seems. I don't know, but it seems like that. And yeah, I'm never putting my faith in Frank. Yeah, I'm never putting my faith in Frank again. But you know, next episode might be our villain arc. Yeah, I'm done with people trying to push me around and all this. The man sexually assaulted her for a kiss she didn't consent to. I didn't consent to it. And Frank just stood there and watched. If you want to find out what happens in Chapter 4 and Chapter 5 of Along the Edge, please come back next episode. And if you like this video, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel and if you would like to see more. And yeah, I love y'all. Bye. These people, it's really really done for next episode. I promise you. I promise you.